So I really hope I'm not the only one who thinks this, but the Toronto Raptors are still a contender. I know, they're one of the worst teams in the league right now, but trust me, like the Warriors last season, the Raptors are a sleeping giant. A sleeping giant, they are powerful, but they have not yet shown their full power. So before the bubble and after Kawhi, they had the best defense in the league and they were third in the league overall. Lowry, Siakam, Powell, and Van Vliet all were all-stars basically, and Siakam was playing like a god. Then in the offseason, they lost Gasol and Ibaka, the two anchors of their defense. That brings us to this season. Thanks to Canadian pandemic rules, at the beginning of the seasons, the Raptors had to move to Tampa. This meant they couldn't stay in their own homes, they couldn't practice in their own practice facility, and most importantly, they couldn't play in front of their own fans. Home games mean less than ever, but this wasn't about home games and home fans. It's about being 1,300 miles away from your home city. Therefore, the Raptors were living, training, and eating out of the same hotel. I don't think you heard me. An NBA team was living out of a hotel room they had to share with their families and kids. I believe they were losing games at the beginning of the season, just adjusting to Tampa and the hotel rooms and moving into houses. It was basically like living in the bubble again, and we all know the bubble was weird. We had TJ Warren dropping 50 twice. Like, you literally can't lie, the bubble was really weird. 10 games, people were already writing the Raptors off, me included. Quick question, why do people hate the Raptors? I've been seeing that a lot while studying for this video. Then the winning started. They came back from 2-8 to be 16-15 in a 14-7 stretch. During that stretch, they went 14th in defense, holding 10 games under 99 points. They were also 8th in offense, which is better than they were in the 2020 season, where they took the Celtics to Game 7 while also being the worst offense in the league. Now they were 5th, just over 500. Unfortunately, this is where the bad luck starts. If they won a majority of their next games, they'd be 3rd in the East. If they lost, they'd be 8th. In the most important part of the season, they lost 3 of their 5 starters and 2 in rotation bench players. They lost 9 straight games, including to the Rockets, who had just lost 20 straight games. During the 9 straight L's, they were starting players like DeAndre Bembry, Stanley Johnson, and Aaron Baines, who are okay rotation players, but they went -9, -7, and -8 during the stretch. They actually went 3-18 during this stretch, and if it wasn't for these 3 wins, they would have gone 0-21. They'd just come back from a bad record the month before. People knew they were a good team and they were expecting them to come back a second time. Only no. I think they tried to come back again, but realizing team morale was down, they traded Norman Powell and began starting bench players. They went 9-18 after the Powell trade. Maybe they were tanking, but they finished 27-45. It was a terrible second half of the season, except for one night they decided to blow out the Lakers and force them into the play-in. Well, that's my season review. I rate them a D, and in my next video I'll explain how the Raptors could still be a good team next season.